Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Today we are doing the trade recap for my daily trades on in the small cap world, and I want to show you what's going on. Today was it was a rough one. It was pretty stressful, and I pretty much got nowhere. So I did recover. However, there was some revenge trading in the mix as well. So let's go ahead and cover it all. I traded two stocks. Well, let me tell you, I am up a whopping 17 bucks today. So flat, neutral. And I guess I'm green. I gotta be at least grateful for that because I was big red at 2 points in the day. I'd driven myself down pretty hard. Let's look at performance real quick. This pretty much kind of predicts the day. I took, let's see, a total of 41 trades. Quite a bit. And it was mainly on HX and SHPW. But mainly on HX. That was the one I mainly traded. But first portion of the day was just bouncing around. It was up, down, and really couldn't get anywhere. My high was 89 bucks. From there, got up to 44 and took a massive loss. So I put way too much risk on the table, and I want to show you that trade real quick. So most of all these trades right here were, it looks like it was HX was the main one in play. So just bouncing around on that one for quite a while. And then I switched over to, this one just killed me. First off, let me go a little bit backwards here. As far as the market conditions today, there were just a few names on my watch list for today. Of course, HX SDIG was one of them, but that wasn't moving a whole lot. SHPW and then JRJC. So what I noticed was that we had momentum, and I think HX kind of brought that to the table, and a few other stocks kind of went into that phase of really ripping really fast. So there was that excitement of momentum. And if you didn't capitalize on it, then it kind of had the possibility to eat you up, because sometimes some of these were, just pump and dump. So I was watching HX. I had a nice climb here, and I was really hesitant, to be honest. I wasn't sure if this was going to just go up a bit and just crumble, because that's what we've kind of seen in the past. Not on all stocks, but I was kind of cautious of that. So I wanted it to kind of prove itself, and because of that, I had to pay the price, and I never really got a good position on this thing until later, but it was just kind of extended in a sense. So, waiting too long to get into the stock was kind of my issue on HX for this whole first portion of it. I did make some money in here. We did get into a halt. I traded it after that, but there were a lot of just quick scalp trades. But once again, didn't really get anywhere with that. So I switched on over to JRJC because this was coming up on the list very fast, very quick. Let me pop up the yearly chart here. Now this one I think I've traded in the past, and it's been a former runner. It's had huge moves before. I know they're not sustained, but there are plenty of different pops in the past. So today was one of them, and man, I jumped in for it, and I wanted to. I figured there would be some more continuation of it. So let me pull up the actual details on this trade, and I'll share those with you. Let's see if I can find it here. Here we go. All right, at 1358. Yep, so here's the deal on this one. I see this thing, missed the whole move here. Wasn't really anticipating it. Wasn't on my radar, but that's how it moved up on my list. I see, oh, wow, this one's really gaining. It goes into a halt. So unlike HX, where it had a little bit of a continuation and then a fall, this one just kind of, boom, fell right out of the gates. my thought process was we had so much momentum, and I felt like volume would pick up and we'd maybe get another second leg. So my plan was to kind of hop in on a quick dip as soon as this thing opens up. Quick dip, and then just ride it to the next leg, sell, quick scalp trade, but ride that momentum. And we really didn't get the follow through here. We got one quick push and it just fell. So as it was falling, I went in for the buy. First purchase was at 845. So not really that great of a price, but like I said, it ripped, and then as it was coming down, I got a bundle there at 600 shares, and then it dropped just a little bit further, and actually it was on the next candle, dropped even further. Decided to hop in here at 804. Not a good idea. Same amount of shares. So I'm up to 1,200 shares. And, you know, we just didn't get any kind of a bounce or recovery on this thing. It just completely sold off. And I had to dump it. And, God, that was such a huge loss for me. So my problem here, I think I was just, I didn't really consider my share size on this one. I went in too large, and I guess I had too much confidence in this one, and it just completely crumbled on me. So I ended up selling at 775 or 777, right in here. So, you know, we got this bust through, and I just realized, you know, I got to dump it. I'm glad I just dumped it though. So sometimes in the past I've been notorious for holding them longer and just trying to completely ride through the storm. And in this case, I'm glad I didn't, because look at this, another huge sell-off and just a continuation of that. So really rough. You cannot hold, you know, when you get into bad positions, it's just not worth it a lot of times in the day trade small cap world to hold on to this. I mean, sure, later on in the day, it ripped up. Look at this. Quite a bit of correction there, but you can't just wait and pray and hope on this kind of stuff. You know, that's been my experience, and you have to just cut your loss while it's manageable. And I'm glad I did that, because here we go. Look at this. I was up 44 bucks on the day before that trade with JRJC. I took it and went into a negative $513 loss with that trade. So huge hit, huge hit, big in the red. So once again, I just didn't analyze my risk as much. I should have gone in with a lot smaller size. And then from that, you know, what does that instill? As soon as I go from basically being neutral all day long through a bunch of trades and then a huge loss, where do you think my head goes? You know, thinking about, Jesus, I got to recover. That's such a big loss, yada, yada, yada. You start going through those things in your head, and you just want to recover at least a little bit. And so I went in for another trade. My next trade was on SHPW, because this one was ripping as well. So SHPW, let's pull up that real quick. And what time frame was this? Yep, 2 o'clock, 14:04. Yep. At that point in the day, you know, we had this one moving up, which was, we had this nice rush up here, and then kind of a bit of a pullback. A bit of a pullback right there. And then this next continuation, which was looking good for me. So I decided to hop in 1404. So yeah, I was hopping, and I think my idea here was that I was going to go for a bit of a pullback, try to get a good price, and then the continuation play was what I was going for. Got in at what, 10:31. Correction, that must have been right. Yeah, 1403. Sorry, that wasn't. I think Actually, I don't recall. So anyways, I know I've got it right here. I got in at 13 or 10.31. And you know, we get a huge flush down, and I ended up selling on the next candle here. And I just threw in a market order because I realized this is not going to pan out for me, and got out at 10.03. So problem here was kind of the same thing. I think I sized in way too, yeah, I sized in way too heavy on this one. I should have maybe pumped the brakes a bit, because I was, you know, after taking the huge loss, I should have pumped the brakes, taken a breath, look for a really good setup, something that looks really great, and then go into that with a little bit smaller share size and work from there. The problem with that is that even when you do that, you know, you reduce that share size, it's harder to come back from it. Because even if you're right, let's say you're right, you know, 3 trades or 4 trades after that big loss. Well, if your share size is so much smaller, if it's cut in half or even smaller, you're gonna have to be really correct consistently to even start making a big difference on that. Versus trying to go in heavier size and, you know, win back more of the profits, or take out some of those losses quicker with bigger share size. But the problem is that's riskier, because if you're wrong, it's going to go against you. And, you know, this really shows that here. I went down to negative $793 on that trade. And boy, that was a huge hit. So anyways, I did step back just a little bit and told myself, okay, better setups, maybe less risk. And the only way I'm going to hang around today, if I'm just going to look for those good setups and, you know, stick with my strategy, not try to break any rules. And I did that. So from there, I continued trading. HX was the one that I mainly traded from there. And quite impressive for me. Look at this. I was able to recover from negative $793 all the way back up to positive $55. So really incredible there. That's excellent. Excellent recovery. Only to screw it up again. So man, it's trading, and if you're not locked in, you know, and you're trading, you know, my kind of strategy here with which is, it's, to be honest, it's risky. That's why you've got to be locked in. You got to be focused. You got to manage that risk really well. You know, your performance might kind of look like this. And so, you know, I just need to focus on making those better trades to try to take out some of this volatility, and maybe try to analyze my share size a little bit too, because obviously going sideways all day long and then taking, you know, 2 trades that bring you all the way down this far, that's too huge. So I could have managed that a lot better. But anyways, recovered from that, brought it back down. I went down to negative, you know, $600 here. And let me see where that's at. That was on HX. Quite a doozy, but was able to recover from that once again with, you know, more consistent trades, and finally getting to negative or positive $17 on the day. So I have to leave it there. End of the day, no more opportunities for me. And it was just, yeah, stressful day. But yeah, I gotta say, at least I'm green. I'm not huge red. And you really gotta factor in, like for me, when I think about when I do go down a big amount, I really look at, okay, well, what time frame is it today? Because there's only so many more opportunities, you know, left in the market day. And if it's, you know, there's only 30 minutes left in the day, and you're sitting down big, chances are you might not really recover from that, and you got to be okay with that. But luckily, my, you know, big red loss was a little bit earlier in the day, like midway through. So I did have a little bit more time to recover if there were opportunities, which there were. So I just took a lot of trades to get out of it, and it worked out for me. But HX was, I don't know, it was a good runner. You know, we had 3 different spots here. This was pretty interesting. Right after here, I took a loss here, and it kind of sort of reminded me of yesterday, where I held on to it too long and took a big loss. So luckily enough, I did cut the loss a lot sooner. It was still a big loss here, but I managed the risk on there a lot better than yesterday. And after that, it just sold off for quite a while. So I was thinking, it's done. I'm not going to really focus on HX. And lo and behold, look at this. We get this out of nowhere. Volume just flows in real fast. This area explodes, goes right into a halt. And I go, damn, like I missed that. Want to make sure I don't have too much FOMO, but I'm going to watch this for the open and see if I can get in and where I can trade. So I did trade it, had a couple good trades in here. I think it was 2 really good trades. And then as it was kind of consolidating here, it wasn't necessarily the best idea, because if you look at this, it's kind of a descending triangle. You've got the flat bottom here and this descending side, right? And when you look at that, when you see that pattern kind of forming, it usually means, not always, but it usually means it might have a drastic break to the downside, you know, breaking that flat bottom there. And the opposite is for a I'm getting them mixed up. Ascending, there's descending and ascending triangle. And the opposite of this one was where you have your flat top and the lows continuously go higher. So you've got a flat top area here, and that's more potential for a breakup to the upside. But anyways, I was getting in here hoping that we'd have a little bit of a rip, and it was just not a good setup. I know that pattern, and I went kind of against it, and lo and behold, it ripped down, and I was just waiting for some kind of bounce. So that was a bad trade there, but we got more kind of a reversed trend here, blew up here, and I went on the ride for this. And then I did have I think it was 2 trades after hours to actually go positive, because I was sitting like negative $33 or negative 88 at one point, but my after hours trade helped me get positive. But you know, I was just skating on thin ice. Happy I'm green, but kind of a stressful day, and that's just how it goes sometimes. So trading, you know, you're not always going to be green. I mean, the best traders out there, you know, they're not green every single day. It's just not how it works. You're going to have the red days. It's just how you manage that risk. And if you can, you know, have red days that aren't massive, then you can really survive. And I've, you know, struggled with that over time, but just trying to do my best to stay in the game and stay positive. So October, not looking so great. I am positive, up $238, but I really risked a whole lot of that today. And, you know, it could be, I could have been negative today on the month because of today, but recovered. So I need to focus on really managing that risk once again, and just trying to put on those green days and not get you know, super saturated. I think for today, looking back on it, you know, going through, what was it, 16 trades and only being up $44, that's telling me something. It's not that I'm not hitting, I'm not being consistent enough on my green trades, and I'm not really growing anything. I'm just going sideways here. So might be better just to, you know, end it for the day and cut it and move on, you know, being a little bit positive. However, you know, I think it was yesterday or the day before, it might have been Monday, where I kind of had the same thing where I was just going sideways for quite a while and eventually broke out of it, and, you know, was able to end the day like up $400. I think that was Monday, up $494. So sometimes you really just, I don't know, it's constant analyzing, it's constantly trying to feel the market and you know, watch the charts, watch the momentum, and just seeing how if there's opportunities. But yeah, JR, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know how your trading day went. I want to hear what you traded and if you're red or green today. JRJC was just the disaster for me. Like I said, there were a few stocks popping up, and some of them seemed to be running, and so I thought JRJC might be one of them, and I just jumped the gun on it and hopped in, big share size, and it went against me completely. Got 8 up here. So that was my, kind of my big mistake today. But that's really it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And once again, I love hearing from you guys in the comments. It's just a really cool community to find out other traders, how they're doing, what they're struggling with, what they're winning on, what's working for them. It's really cool. So I appreciate all of you that chime in below. So take care, and we'll see you tomorrow.